Absolute horror. John Swinney's emotional response to the Air India tragedy and what it means for Britain. Right, buckle up, Britain, because today's news is about as heavy as it gets. When John Swinney, a man who usually delivers Scottish political updates with the emotional range of a weather forecast, uses the words absolute horror, you know something catastrophic has happened. The Air India crash that's left 242 people dead, including 53 British nationals, has sent shockwaves not just through India and the UK, but across the world. As politicians from Edinburgh to Westminster scramble for the right words, families across Britain are left desperate for answers. But in the midst of tragedy, the machinery of government grinds into motion. How leaders react in these moments tells us everything about their priorities, their character, and the value they place on human life. Picture this. You're scrolling through your phone on a Thursday evening, complaining about the rain or debating whether Greggs counts as fine dining, when suddenly videos start flooding social media. A Boeing 787 Dreamliner, a plane you'd expect to be the pinnacle of modern safety, has turned into a fireball over an Indian residential area. This isn't Hollywood. This is real life. And it's absolutely brutal. The Air India flight was supposed to be routine, Ahmedabad to Gatwick. The kind of journey thousands of Brits make every year to visit family, conduct business, or take a holiday. Instead, it became a nightmare, with debris embedded in a medical college canteen and families across the UK frantically calling helplines, praying for good news that, tragically, is unlikely to come. Here's where this story takes a turn. John Swinney, Scotland's First Minister, is known for his measured, sometimes stoic approach. He's weathered more political storms than a Highland sheep. But this time, he didn't retreat behind bland statements or send out a press officer. Swinney stood up in Holyrood and spoke with genuine emotion, absolute horror. When a seasoned politician drops diplomatic language and speaks like a real human being, you know the situation has cut through all the usual Westminster nonsense. But Swinney didn't just stop at words. He pivoted immediately to practical action. No empty thoughts and prayers. Instead, he urged Scottish families affected by the tragedy to contact the Foreign Office directly and promised that the Scottish government would provide support. This is leadership in action. Show empathy, then show competence. Let's talk numbers, because in tragedies like this, statistics aren't just digits, they are stories. 242 people dead, 169 Indian nationals, 53 British, 1 Canadian, 7 Portuguese, 12 crew members. Behind every number is a family destroyed, a community grieving, a future stolen. Here's a political reality. The loss of 53 British nationals turns this from an international incident into a domestic crisis. The UK government must move beyond platitudes. Immediate diplomatic action, robust consular support, and the kind of cross-party cooperation that temporarily suspends the usual hostilities are now essential. While the public watches grainy phone footage of burning wreckage, the Foreign Office is running a 24/7 crisis hotline. Consular officials are working around the clock, coordinating with Indian authorities, while civil servants in Whitehall prepare briefing papers that no one ever wants to write. This is the moment when a government's true competence is revealed. No spin, no focus groups, just raw, unfiltered crisis management. It's easy to get lost in the machinery of politics, but at the heart of this tragedy are real people. Imagine being a parent, spouse, or child right now, checking passenger manifests, calling airlines, refreshing news sites every minute, clinging to hope. The anxiety is suffocating. This is why Swinney's response matters, and why competent government is so important. When everything falls apart, people need to know that someone is in charge, someone cares, and someone is actually doing something useful. Investigations will follow. Inquiries will be launched. There will be finger-pointing about aviation safety and regulatory failures. The usual circus will emerge in due course. But right now, in this raw moment, we're seeing something rare in British politics. Leaders acting like actual leaders, not social media performers. This isn't a story with a neat ending or a clever punchline. 242 people are dead. Families are grieving. Sometimes the only appropriate response is to acknowledge that some things are bigger than politics. If you think competent crisis response should be the bare minimum we expect from our leaders, engage with this story. Share it. Talk about it. The way politicians handle genuine crisis tells us everything about who they really are. In a world full of spin, demand better. Because when disaster strikes, it's not the slogans that matter. It's the reality of what leaders do when all eyes are on them. And the stakes couldn't be higher. Stay tuned for more real talk and analysis. In times like these, let's keep it real and hold our leaders to account when it matters most.